Beer here back at the Fantasy Bar. Huge slate of games this Friday. We've got 6 of my favorite plays for you on FanDuel and DraftKings. We'll give you stacks. We'll give you values. We'll highlight some weather spots we can take advantage of. A starting pitcher, I think, is in a great strikeout spot. And of course, my favorite play on the entire slate. Who we talking about? Only one way to find out. It's time to belly up to the Fantasy Bar. Welcome in, guys. Friday edition, Beers Daily Fantasy Six-Pack. Good to be back in the Fantasy Bar talking some baseball. 6 of my favorite plays fresh off the tap for you on FanDuel and DraftKings. Thank you, as always, for stopping by and hanging out today in the Fantasy Bar. Before we get to tonight's plays, do me a favor. Hit that tip jar, that thumbs up button. Very important. Only takes a second. All we're asking in return for this free video. Thank you for that. Also, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the videos. All right, let's talk about weather real quick. Doesn't look like a ton of rain except in Coors Field. We don't include Coors Field here anyway, so not going to affect us in any way. Couple wind spots out there that we can take advantage of that we'll highlight here as we go. All right, let's dive in. Our first play in the outfield with Juan Soto of the Mets. So kind of a slow start here to the season, but we know Juan Soto, one of the best hitters in all of baseball, should get it going sooner than later. So we have a huge slate of games, a guy at a high price that's been struggling. I don't see a lot of traction or ownership here, so could get a very low, high upside. Juan Soto here was absolutely off the charts against righties last season. WOBA over 400, ISO pushing 300. And look at that hard contact rate, above 65% here, and good matchup for him against Miles Mikolas. Really leans on 3 pitches: slider, fastball, sinker. Soto last season hit with a ton of power against all 3 of these pitches from right-handed pitching. 209, 348, and 469. The ISOs for him against those 3 pitches. Good spot here in the power department for Juan Soto. All right, let's add another piece here with another Mets outfielder in Jesse Winker. So we can negate some of that cost of Juan Soto. If you're stacking up, Winker just $3,100 on DraftKings, $2,500 on FanDuel, or even as a one-off salary saver to let you spend some money elsewhere if you don't feel like stacking the Mets. A lot of ways to deploy Jesse Winker here tonight. Another guy that matches up well with Mikolas. WOBA was solid against all 3 of those pitches, and overall 351 weighted OBA against righties in 2024. Mikolas, tough start to the season here against lefties. WOBA over 400, hard contact rate near 53%. Loving the Mets tonight, loving this value on Jesse Winker. All right, let's talk starting pitcher. A lot of options tonight. I'm going to roll with Freddie Peralta of Milwaukee. So great start to the season here for Freddie Peralta. Good spot here at home, minus 150 favorite here tonight against the Athletics. At least 6 strikeouts in all 4 of his starts so far, and averaging 7 strikeouts per start. So you get that solid floor, and I don't think we've seen the ceiling yet. We know this is a guy that can give you 10, 11, 12 strikeouts on any given night. Against righties this season, 38% strikeout rate. When you look at the projected starting lineup for the Athletics, looks like 6 righties in that lineup. So they've done a better job of not striking out as much. In fact, they've done a great job against right-handed pitching here. I think that number is going to start to come back to what we saw last season. I think Peralta racks up the strikeouts with 10 plus. Not out of the question here tonight against the Athletics. All right, back to the bats with more value in the outfield with Austin Hayes of the Reds. This is one of my favorite buy lows. This price is simply too cheap on Austin Hayes. Just returning, has been very productive, and these prices have yet to catch up to what he's been doing here. So continue to buy low. Was good against lefties last season, 402 WOBA, 52% hard contact rate. And we talked about winds. This is one of those spots. Winds blowing out to left field, 15 to 20 miles per hour. So that could turn a routine fly ball into a home run here in this game. Not to mention, a little revenge narrative here. Austin Hayes, add it all up. Cheap, great weather, and a good matchup, making him one of my favorite values here for Friday night. All right, let's get you another piece from Cincinnati at second base or shortstop with Matt McClain. So Elly De La Cruz, definitely the headliner for this team. We can certainly add him to this stack as well, but McClain kind of flies under the radar here, and I love the Reds here tonight against Cade Povich. Not only the weather, but the matchup here against the left-hander. We'll talk about him in a second, but McClain off to a good start against lefties so far, 349 WOBA, and look at that ISO up at 429. Povich struggled a little bit with righties last season, seeing the same trend here this season, 430 the WOBA allowed to righties thus far, and over 56% hard contact rate. This game overall, definitely stackable, but I love the Cincinnati side, especially Hayes and Matt McClain. All right, it's time. Take a look at my favorite play for Friday night. Before we do that, let's continue to give away some free RotoGrinders Premium with our Beast of the Night contest. Very easy to play. Step 1, click that thumbs up button. Step 2, head to the comment section, and all you got to do is guess fantasy points on DraftKings for my highest scoring hitter. The 5 bats I'm going to give you, which one puts up the biggest score? You don't even have to guess who it is. Doesn't even have to be the Beast of the Night. Super easy. Just a number. Your guess is the closest. You're going to win yourself a free week of RotoGrinders Premium just for hanging out today in the fantasy bar. Now, on top of that number, I want to know your top play. Big slate of games, lots of choices to be made. Who would be your Beast of the Night? Sound off in that YouTube comment section. All right, let's wrap it up with my favorite play. You know, Matt's the Beast of the Night. All right, Beast time. One play stood head and shoulders above the rest for me, and that is first baseman Freddie Freeman of the Dodgers, tonight's Beast of the Night. So Freeman, slow start when he came back, but starting to get it going now. 3 multi-hit games in a row, over 14 DraftKings points per game over that span. And a guy that's always hit right-handers well. Look at the start to the season here for Freddie Freeman. A WOBA over 600 and ISO over 500. And Jacob deGrom has been absolutely terrible against lefties to start this season. We're talking a 456 WOBA, 452 ISO, and a power mix as well. 40% fly ball rate, 48% hard contact rate, 2 home runs allowed in each of his last 2 starts. Not the team. You want to be bad against lefties. Ohtani, Freeman amongst others here. Freddie Freeman in a great spot against Jacob deGrom, making him easily my favorite play on the board in tonight's Beast of the Night. All right, guys, that'll do it for our Friday 6-pack, giving you some stacks, giving you some weather, giving you some value, and giving you Freddie Freeman. As always, any comments, questions, or feedback, hit me up in that comment section right below the video or on Twitter at Beermakersfan and get your guess in. Gave you 5 bats. Which one scores the highest fantasy points on DraftKings? We've made it easy. Don't even have to guess who it's going to be. Just get that number in there for a shot at a free week of RotoGrinders Premium. Make sure you check out Grinders Live tonight, and I will be joining the Crunch Time show talking last-minute lineup decisions at 6:15 to 7 Eastern. Make sure you check out both shows. I'm super excited to talk the rest of this MLB schedule tonight. Hopefully you guys come hang out and check out Grinders Live and Crunch Time. For RotoGrinders.com, I am Beer saying salut, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Best of luck on tonight's slate. Have a great weekend. We'll see you tonight, hopefully. If not, we'll catch you next week. See you, everybody.
Thanks for checking out our videos. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more DraftKings, FanDuel, and other DFS content. And you can check out our daily live show schedule on rotogrinders.com/videos.